Today I am doing this video at what used to be called the West Branch Campground. Looks like the fire got it pretty good. This entry road, it was damaged. I don't know exactly what happened. Weather damaged a few years back, and so the campground was actually closed at the time of the fire. And that road over there, it goes up to Oregon. And one night, maybe about 15 or 20 years ago, I was driving along that road late at night, and there was one other car right in front of me. And when I came around a corner, not far from here, there was a fire at the side of the road. And I put out that fire, and I always felt so good that I had saved the forest from burning, because the fire was about 4 feet tall. And I was on my way home from the store in Oregon over at Cave Junction, and I had a few bottles of water with me, so I jumped out of my car and extinguished the fire. But now look, it burned anyhow. What a sad thing. This is a beautiful area, It was. So there's an entry road here, and it goes down to the level of the creek. There's a creek down there, and this creek down here was a mining claim. I suppose it still is a mining claim, but nobody can go down there. This is West Branch of Indian Creek, and I don't think you can see it, but I can hear it. I can hear the water. Anyhow, I'm here to do a video for my BookTube channel. Just thought you'd like to see the terrain. Hello there, my name is Linda Jo Martin, and I'm here with another BookTube video. And today I'm doing a book haul, as they call it, or as I call it, a book acquisitions video. So I have a few books here on the table in front of me. This is the first one I want to talk to you about. It is Earth User's Guide to Permaculture, 2nd edition. This book was recommended by another booktuber. Her name is Faith, and she read this and was commenting on it for quite a long time. It's a kind of thick book, so it'll take a while to get through, but I was very inspired because I now have a half acre that I have to develop, and I thought maybe learning something about permaculture would help me to do a good job of turning that half acre into something that would be very pleasant to be in. So permaculture is on my mind, and I also bought a second permaculture book because it's good to have a second opinion, and this is Permaculture Design Step-by-Step Guide. So I thought that might help me in deciding how I'm going to develop that property. This is a book that is very dear to me. I actually read this last year. If you watch my channel regularly, you might remember I read Light on the Devils, Coming of Age on the Klamath. It is a memoir of a woman who used to live in the Klamath River Valley way back in the 1960s, and she has left this area. She lives up in Idaho. She worked for the Forest Service. She is very good at talking or writing about nature, and that has sort of been woven into her narrative of her memoir of being a teenager in the Klamath River Valley. So I very much enjoyed her book and respect the effort that she put into it. And so when my home burned in the fire last September, there was a forest fire, and you might be able to tell from the background that I'm sitting in a burned area. So when my home burned last September, most of my books were in there, and my copy of this book was in the fire. And so anyhow, she got in touch with me after the fire, and she saw my review of her book on Goodreads got in touch with me, and she sent me a new copy of the book, for which I am very grateful. Very, very grateful. Her name is Louise Wagenknecht, and I will try to show you her picture. So she also wrote another memoir, and she sent me a copy of that too. This one is White Poplar, Black Locust, and this is about her childhood, earlier years. The other one, this one is about her teen years. This is about her childhood, and this takes place in Hilt, California, which is also at the very top of California near the Oregon border, but it is in an area that's very close to Highway 5. And thank you very much, Louise, for sending me those books. I really appreciate it. And so the next few books are gifts from a friend of mine, Judy Bushy, who lives here in town. She sent me The Valley of Little Rivers, which I thought it might be a memoir, but I think it is more likely like historical fiction. And this takes place in the Illinois Valley, which, if you just go further up this hill and over the hill, you'll be in the Illinois Valley in southern Oregon. So this book is, it takes place there. It's by Wally, Coleman. It says on the back, The Valley of Little Rivers is a touching story centering around the adventures of two young brothers. The setting is in the Illinois Valley of southern Oregon during the gold rush of the mid-1800s. So I'm looking forward to reading that book. And then this one that she sent me, also from Judy, this is Redwood Gems, which is very precious. It's published by Naturegraph Publishers, which was located in the area of Happy Camp, California, and during a fire last year, it was burned to the ground. So I knew when Naturegraph burned, the books were going to go out of print. Well, they were effectively out of print as soon as their building burned, because everything was in there. So this is one of the Naturegraph books, and I'm kind of excited to have a copy. As soon as the fire happened, I went out to Amazon and I bought several books. I bought Dear Madam, Who Was She, and a book about the Karuk tribe, and a book about, well, of all things, wildfires. Anyhow, Judy also sent me this huge book. It is this history of Siskiyou County, California, which is where we live, by Harry Wells. And wow, this is an amazing book. It's thick, it contains a lot of history, it contains illustrations, pictures. It's an amazing history book that I just am amazed that I have a copy of. Really grateful for that. Thank you, Judy. Thank you for all those books. Now my other pile of books here, we're going into the realm of juvenile literature, and you may be wondering why I am buying up a lot of juvenile literature all of a sudden. And it is because, well, first of all, I enjoy reading it, and second of all, I have been wanting to read all the books on the Newbery list for many years now, and I'm still working on it, and every year they add more. So I've been buying a few of the books now. I showed you in my last video, I showed you The Last Stop on Market Street, which is a picture book. Won the Newbery Medal in 2016, also was a Caldecott Honor book. Caldecott Honor is for the illustrations, and it also won a Coretta Scott King Award for the illustrations. So I am so grateful to have a copy of this, because I just will keep this as, like, hopefully a blessing to my home and community, and who knows whose hands it will fall into in the future. But for me, the Newbery books are like, they're like the candy in the smorgasbord of life. I mean, they're beautiful, they're memorable, they're just fun to read, and I like owning them. I'm sort of like a collector. I don't have very many at this point because my book collection did burn not too long ago, but starting over. Now this is a Newbery Honor book for 2021, this very year. This is one of the honor books. This is All 13, The Incredible Cave Rescue of the Thai Boys Soccer Team. And nonfiction, and I think there's a lot of pictures in this, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Let's go into more honor books from this year. We Dream of Space by Erin Entrada Kelly. I don't know much about this book yet. I haven't read it, but I intend to read it this year. On the back it says, "It is the moment of truth. The universe is waiting, waiting for you." This is Fighting Words by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley, also a Newbery Honor book for 2021. And a recent book acquisition for me. Here is yet another Newbery Honor book for this year, A Wish in the Dark. And this is by Christina Soontornvat, who also wrote that nonfiction book about the boys that were in the cave. She got 2 of her books designated as Newbery Honor books in 1 year, which is pretty phenomenal. So I'm pretty sure this one is fiction. And then there's one more Newbery Honor book this year. It's called Box, and I ordered it, but I have not received it yet. This one, When You Trap a Tiger, is actually the Newbery Medal winner. Just got that one a couple days ago. Really excited to have it, and I'll also be reading that this year. This won the Newbery Medal for 2021. It is by Tay Keller. Now I will be reading along with Middle Grade March next month, and so I bought a couple of books for that. The first one I bought was Enchanted by Gail, Carson, Levine. Always wanted to have a copy of this. It won, well, it wasn't a winner, but it was a Newbery Honor book in 1998. And also I purchased the group read for Middle Grade March, and it's The Brave. I've got a copy. I'm ready to go. I'm just waiting for March to happen. A few days from now. And I guess that's it. That's all that I had for my book haul today. So I hope that I will be able to connect with you. Really appreciate your comments when you leave them. Really do appreciate comments, and very grateful that you came by to look at my video. Thank you. Talk to you in another video. Bye. There's still some green trees over there, so that's a blessing. That's a blessing. One day a long time ago, I came out here, like about 15 years ago, I came out here to write in my journal, and I went down to the campground. It's downhill from here. And I was sitting there writing in my journals thinking how nice it would be if I saw some animals, and then I looked up and my car was surrounded by deer. There was one standing next to my driver's side window, only a few feet away, and it was so funny that I had just been thinking how nice it would be to see them, and there they were, and I didn't even know because I had been looking down at my journal for so long. This is a place that I used to come to a lot to just enjoy nature and write, and it's really sad to see it burned like this. A tragic but true story. But look at that green, look at all those green trees over there. This area can recover, and it will recover. In memory of Gloria Bravos. A dear, sweet woman who really loved this lady. She died up here on the 18th of January 2016 while I was living up in Idaho. So uphill from here, the road goes all the way to Oregon, but she wasn't very far up it, and there was a lot of snow on the road, and she died of exposure after getting stuck up there. Really sorry, because she was a wonderful, wonderful woman.